Family, gather around, because today's story is one of those moments where the truth shines so brightly, no matter how deep the smear merchants try to bury it. And trust me, today's narrative is dripping with hypocrisy, oozing with double standards, and absolutely exposes how desperate some corners of the royal commentary machine have become. Because, once again, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, two people who wanted nothing more than to build a peaceful life, have suddenly found themselves the centre of manufactured outrage. And you already know, when the tabloids start foaming at the mouth like this, it means Harry and Meghan are winning. Let's begin with the newest attack that's making the rounds. This idea that Harry and Meghan are somehow targeting the entire royal family with one spiteful act. The smear machine has dusted off its old scripts, pulled out every lazy narrative, and gone into overdrive because King Charles stripped Prince Andrew of his HRH status and military titles. And somehow, these people turned it into an excuse to attack Harry and Meghan. Think of how absurd that is. Andrew is stripped of titles for a very real and extremely serious scandal, yet the headlines pivot to Meghan's notebook, to a candle inspired by her wedding anniversary. This is how unserious and unhinged their critics have become. Let's talk about this so-called controversy surrounding Meghan's Christmas range. Meghan Markle, a woman who is a brand in herself, a global icon, an Emmy-winning producer, a philanthropist and a mother, releases beautifully curated holiday products. And what do her critics focus on? A notebook. A notebook with her royal cipher on it. A cipher she earned when she married into that family. A cipher she was given. And suddenly the outrage brigade starts screaming, "She's monetizing the monarchy." But the funniest, most comical part? These are the same people who told Meghan she should have stayed silent. They told her she should have stayed in her lane. They told her she should have remained royal, but only in service to them. They screamed that she threw away her royal platform, and now they're screaming because she still has one. So, which is it? You can always tell when Meghan is thriving, when Meghan is succeeding, because the hatred turns into pure nonsense. A notebook becomes an international crisis. A scented candle becomes a national meltdown. And a woman promoting her own business, just like Zara Tindall, Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice, Peter Phillips, Lady Sarah Chatto, and countless more, becomes commercializing the monarchy. But notice what Tom Bower and his clique of aging, bitter commentators never mention. Those minor royals have been monetizing their titles for decades. Zara Tindall literally uses her royal-adjacent fame to promote equestrian sponsorships. Beatrice and Eugenie attend brand events and partner with corporations. Many senior royals take money, housing and taxpayer support while doing far less charity work than Meghan and Harry ever did. But only Meghan, only the Duchess who married in, the woman of colour, the outsider, the American, gets targeted for commercialization. And this is where Tom Bower's name always appears. The man's entire career has devolved into a one-man crusade against Meghan Markle. He calls her spiteful. He calls her statement furious. He calls her rude to the Queen. But this is the same man who built a career writing attack books for profit. And suddenly he's the guardian of royal dignity. Let's dig into the so-called spiteful statement. Bower claims the Sussexes targeted every royal, including the late Queen, because Meghan and Harry dared to say the monarchy had no jurisdiction over the use of the word royal overseas, which is legally correct, factually correct, and politely worded. The statement made it clear that they chose not to use Sussex Royal, even though they could have. Harry and Meghan were literally respecting the Queen's wishes. But Tom Bower calls it spiteful because it doesn't fit his victim-blaming narrative. Imagine calling a statement spiteful when that same institution refused Meghan mental health help, leaked against her, discussed her unborn child's skin colour, and let Prince Andrew keep his HRH for years. The real spite wasn't coming from Harry and Meghan. It was coming from the palace offices that fed the press, that undermined them, that allowed character assassination to run unchecked. Then here comes another lie. Bower claims Harry promised his family he wouldn't use his title for financial gain. First of all, Harry doesn't have to use a title. Harry is the brand. Meghan is the brand. Their value comes from who they are, not their titles. And when Harry spoke at that JP Morgan event, he talked openly about mental health and grief, subjects he has every right to speak about. This idea that a man earning money for speaking truth about trauma is commercializing the monarchy is ridiculous. So when Bower says the palace was aghast that Harry made money at a speaking engagement, I'm sorry, are the Windsors allergic to work? Should Harry be forbidden from earning a paycheck? Or should he go back to the UK and live under their control again? The hypocrisy is astounding. These same royal experts cheered when Prince William launched a multi-million-dollar Earthshot prize surrounded by corporate sponsors. They applauded when Prince Charles published books, launched commercial projects, and promoted his business ventures for decades. But when Harry and Meghan, who left the institution, build a business, suddenly it's a crisis. Let's talk about half in, half out. The Queen, God bless her, didn't have a choice. Once senior palace courtiers decided they wanted Harry and Meghan out. Too popular, too modern, too global, too independent, too powerful without them. And that is why the Sussex royal brand was dismantled. Not because Harry and Meghan were wrong, but because they were too strong. Harry and Meghan wanted to stay in service, but on terms that protected their mental health, their marriage, and their child. The palace said no. Then the same palace leaked to the press that the Sussexes quit, that they abandoned the Queen. Meanwhile, they were trying to build something sustainable. But the Windsors wanted obedience, not partnership. Now critics like Tom Bower try rewiring history to paint Harry and Meghan as villains. He claims the couple targeted the family. He claims Meghan aimed at Beatrice and Eugenie. Meanwhile, the truth is that those two princesses have maintained warm relations with the Sussexes for years. Prince Harry has always been close with Eugenie. The real tension wasn't between cousins. It was between Harry and the institutional machine behind the monarchy. Here's what's really happening now. Meghan launched a Christmas range that is elegant, classy, sophisticated, and beautifully marketed. And because her enemies cannot attack the quality, they resort to nonsense. She used a royal cipher. Her candle is referencing her wedding. She's monetizing royalty. Meanwhile, the entire UK gifting industry has been monetizing the Windsors for over a century. Books, mugs, plates, calendars, documentaries, newspapers, magazine covers, everything is monarchy merchandise. But they draw the line when Meghan puts an M with a crown on a notebook she personally owns and previously used. Please, let's also address this narrative that Harry and Meghan wanted privacy. The biggest lie ever pushed. They never said they wanted privacy from the public. They wanted privacy from harassment, from intrusion, from palace press backdoor dealings. They wanted safety. They wanted autonomy. They never said they wanted a silent life on a farm somewhere. They wanted control of their story, and now that they have it, the press is furious. These outrage pundits are not protecting the monarchy. They are protecting their bottom line. They need Meghan. Without Meghan, those same tabloids and royal experts lose clicks, lose viewers, lose book deals. Meghan is the engine that fuels them, so they must pretend they hate her while simultaneously depending on her for income. That is real monetization. That is real exploitation. That is real commercialization. Harry and Meghan walked away from the monarchy to protect their family, their mental health and their future. And the same men who refused to protect Meghan now mock her for creating her own success. The irony is almost poetic. But here's the truth the haters don't want to admit. Meghan's brand is thriving. Harry's projects are flourishing. Their fan base is massive and global. Their values resonate, and the royal machine cannot compete with their authenticity. That's why every candle, every notebook, every promotional photo triggers the press like a fire alarm at Buckingham Palace. Because Harry and Meghan are shaping culture, and the monarchy is reacting. And the saddest part? Critics like Tom Bower want the Sussexes to stay miserable so they can stay employed. They need Harry to be broken. They need Meghan to be a villain. But Harry is healing. Meghan is building. And the royal machine dislikes what it cannot control. So no, the Sussexes did not target the royal family. They were targeted. And now that they have found joy, freedom and purpose, the vultures are circling again, trying to rewrite the narrative. But here on Royal Sussex Squad, we don't let that happen. We don't let the lies win. We uplift the truth. And we protect the Sussexes against the smear machine that profits by tearing them down. Family, before we wrap up, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a new breakdown, analysis or deep dive. And if you love this kind of content and want to support the channel's growth, hit that super thanks button and help us keep exposing the hypocrisy and celebrating Harry and Meghan with honesty, facts and heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting independent storytelling. And thank you for standing with the Sussexes. This is Royal Sussex Squad, where the truth lives. Until next time, stay blessed, stay informed, and stay unbothered.